Today, significant developments are unfolding with the Iraqi dinar that have gone largely unnoticed, and they could reshape the landscape for investors around the globe. While many were absorbed by other headlines, the Iraqi dinar made a noteworthy move that may signal its readiness for widespread international recognition. If you hold dinars or are considering it, this is one of those rare occasions when concrete information matters more than speculation. Over the next 20 minutes, we will decode every subtle indicator, every hidden clue, and every critical piece of news that could impact millions of investors worldwide. This is more than just numbers or predictions. It's about real progress in the financial world, a step closer to global attention and potential opportunity for both short-term traders and long-term holders. In recent months, the Iraqi dinar has quietly emerged in financial discussions, and the latest signals suggest that it could be nearing the threshold of international recognition. While this may appear to be merely another story outside mainstream financial headlines, the underlying signals point to genuine advancement. The Iraqi government has been actively working behind the scenes for more than 2 years to meet global financial norms, enhance its banking infrastructure, and strengthen relationships on the international stage. These preparations are far from random. They indicate that Iraq is positioning itself to capture serious attention from global financial institutions, investors, and international trading networks. These actions are vital because recognition at the global level does not occur overnight, and the signals currently emerging suggest the dinar is steadily moving toward that milestone. First, let's examine what international recognition actually translates to in practical terms. When a currency secures global market watch status, it becomes more than just a label. It signals that the world's financial institutions are monitoring it closely. Think of it as the equivalent of a country's credit profile, just as a bank examines your spending, loans, and repayments before giving you access to greater financial privileges. International institutions evaluate a currency's stability, trading volumes, and economic fundamentals before considering it for broader acceptance. In the case of the Iraqi dinar, this means that its day-to-day activity, performance metrics, and financial behavior are under scrutiny at the highest levels. International banks, trading platforms, and private investment firms are taking notice, which could ultimately lead to more structured trading and possible integration into broader currency baskets. The hidden indicators we are observing now show Iraq is fulfilling key prerequisites that historically precede major currency recognition events. One of the most critical markers is Iraq's banking modernization. Over the past 2 years, the Central Bank of Iraq has implemented substantial reforms aimed at strengthening its internal banking systems and aligning with international standards. These reforms include upgrading digital payment platforms, expanding interbank connections across the Middle East and beyond, and enhancing transparency in financial reporting. While these upgrades may appear technical or gradual, they are in fact essential signals to the global market that Iraq is serious about managing foreign investment responsibly. For holders of the dinar, these actions offer reassurance that their positions are now operating within a more structured and professionally managed financial environment. These kinds of developments tend to fly under the radar, yet they form the backbone of a currency's journey towards international credibility. Another major signal is Iraq's progress in reducing its dependence on the US dollar for domestic transactions. Over the past year, Iraq has reportedly cut its reliance on the dollar by more than 40%. This is not just a technical adjustment, it represents a broader strategic move to assert greater control over its own financial system and to position the dinar for wider relevance. When a country decreases its dependency on a foreign currency, it gains greater flexibility, credibility, and negotiation power in global trade. For investors, this is a subtle but meaningful indication that Iraq is laying the foundation for long-term currency stability and international recognition. While this doesn't guarantee immediate revaluation or a sudden surge in value, it indicates a methodical, step-by-step approach to strengthening the dinar's role in global finance. Let's move on to Iraq's foreign reserves. Currently, Iraq is reported to hold over 100 billion United States dollars in foreign reserves. A significant amount that signals the country has resources to stabilize its currency if needed. Large reserves not only suggest financial strength, but also show flexibility in international negotiations. These reserves are a key metric that global institutions consider when evaluating whether a currency is ready for wider recognition. This level of reserve demonstrates that Iraq is not operating on unstable foundations, but is actively building resilience and credibility, factors that have historically preceded broader currency recognition. For dinar holders, this represents a measure of reassurance. The country is strengthening its financial base and paving the way for greater global integration. Oil production is another critical signal worth noting. Iraq's oil output has reportedly returned to pre-2020 levels, producing over 4 million barrels per day. Given that oil remains the backbone of Iraq's economy, consistent production indicates stability and strong revenue potential. In global markets, a country's resource production is often assessed before its currency is embraced internationally, and Iraq's progress in this space is essential. Furthermore, improvements in governance and transparency around oil revenues signal the country's readiness for international financial scrutiny for investors. The upward trends in production and revenue management are subtle but meaningful indicators that should not be overlooked, as they often signal currency strengthening and eventual mainstream recognition. Political stability is a critical factor in international recognition, and over the past 3 years, Iraq has demonstrated improved governance, stronger relationships with neighboring countries, and better domestic functioning. This kind of stability reduces risk for international investors and plays a key role in financial institutions' decision-making processes. While Iraq continues to face regional challenges, the progress cannot be ignored. Improved governance enables smoother implementation of banking reforms, better management of reserves, and stronger trade negotiations. These steps, though incremental and sustained, are crucial signals that Iraq is aligning itself with global financial expectations. For investors tracking these developments, it's clear that the groundwork is being laid for broader recognition of the dinar trade partnerships represent another subtle but important signal indicating readiness for integration. The Central Bank of Iraq has reportedly entered into agreements with banks in Turkey, Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates. These partnerships not only expand Iraq's banking network, but also demonstrate trust and credibility from regional financial institutions. The development of cross-border payment systems and digital platforms shows that Iraq is preparing for a much more active role in international transactions when a currency is supported by structured partnerships and modern infrastructure. It sends a strong message to global markets that it is capable of handling significant volumes of trade. For dinar investors, these steps offer confidence that the currency is being strategically positioned for future global integration. Even if immediate revaluation or full trading access lies further ahead. Economic indicators are also beginning to send positive signals. Beyond oil, Iraq's broader economic performance has shown steady improvement. Key metrics such as inflation, GDP growth, and levels of foreign investment are being tracked internationally, and current reports suggest that Iraq is meeting many of the thresholds required for global consideration. Consistent improvement in these areas strengthens the credibility of the dinar and lowers the risk associated with holding it. While these metrics do not guarantee immediate gains, they help create an environment in which international institutions are more willing to monitor, assess, and potentially integrate the currency into larger systems. Historically, this data-driven groundwork has preceded major recognition milestones. Achieving Global Market Watch status is a pivotal milestone in this process. When a currency receives this status, it moves from being speculative to being actively monitored by institutions. Analysts and banks begin to track trade volumes, stability, and economic indicators daily, providing a structured assessment of whether the currency is ready for integration. This typically represents the stage just before limited international trading begins. While this milestone doesn't promise full integration or sudden value jumps, it is one of the clearest signals that the dinar is being taken seriously on a global scale. This step represents a turning point, a confirmation that years of groundwork may finally be aligning with tangible developments in the global financial system. Comparisons with other currencies can offer valuable perspective. Historically, currencies that were once overlooked gradually earned international recognition through a structured, step-by-step process. For instance, the Chinese yuan followed a similar trajectory, starting with limited recognition, moving into more active monitoring, and eventually becoming a major currency.